Coming up on News 3, what we know about the major crash that happened this afternoon on Holloman and Welborn. And today is the 20th anniversary of the massacre at Columbine High School. A look at how survivors are coping 2 decades after the tragedy.
And we enjoyed plenty of sunshine here across the Brazos Valley, but we have changes coming as early as this week.
Local, trusted. This is News 3 at 6 on KBTX.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Clay Falls. Whitney Miller is off tonight. Several people are injured after a major accident this afternoon at Holloman Drive and Welborn Road in College Station. The crash happened around 1 o'clock this afternoon. News 3's Rusty Surrett was there and reports 3 people have been rushed to a hospital. We are working on gathering more details from police on how the crash happened. Police say the intersection could be closed until 9 tonight and drivers are being asked to avoid the area. An update to a story we first broke on our KBTX Facebook page yesterday. Yesterday afternoon, this accident happened on Boonville Road in front of Allen Academy. A Hyundai Accent crashed into the school's fence. Bryan police now say the man in the car was driving drunk. He was taken to the hospital for treatment for the crash, and police say they found multiple empty beer cans inside the car. Police say 66-year-old Joseph McBride of Pasadena told them he had 3 beers and said, "I'm guilty." He is still in the Brazos County Jail tonight on more than $3,300 bond. Exactly 20 years ago today, 2 students shot and killed 13 people at Columbine High School. It was the first mass shooting at a school for the millennial generation. As that community honors those who died tonight, Natasha Chen talks with survivors about life after tragedy.
On a hilltop next to Columbine High School is a quiet space filled with 13 plaques naming the people who were killed on April 20th, 1999. The community of Littleton lit candles Friday night, standing by the friends they lost. Among them are people who could have died that day. Survivor Patrick Ireland, who was shot twice in the head.
Fortunate that that I'm still here and was able to, regain so much of my life back.
Frank DeAngelis was Columbine's principal at the time. He now dedicates his life to helping school shooting victims.
Whenever I go out and do presentations, I start each of my presentations with the picture of each of the kids, and I read their names, and it gets me in a calming place that I know what I need to do.
Survivors like Will Beck have also been approached by Parkland, Florida students. He says, don't be afraid to live your life.
It was horrible. It dominated my life for a long, long time, but I still have a beautiful family and I have a life that I was able to rebuild from that.
Having a choice of being a victor instead of a victim can be a great positive message.
In Littleton, Colorado, I'm Natasha Chen reporting.
A zoo employee in Topeka, Kansas is reportedly in stable condition after being mauled by a tiger this morning. According to zoo officials, the tiger's primary keeper and the endangered tiger entered the same space as one another. That's when the tiger pounced on the employee. The zoo was open at the time of the attack and it was witnessed by some guests. It reopened about 45 minutes after the attack. Zoo officials are saying they don't plan on euthanizing the tiger.
Sanjeev this morning did exactly what a tiger would when something comes into its territory. And there is absolutely no consideration to euthanize Sanjeev. Officials are investigating what exactly led up to the attack. Authorities say a Houston woman set herself and her home on fire when police showed up to arrest her for her husband's murder. 69-year-old Janet Alexander allegedly stabbed her husband, 64-year-old Lionel Alexander, to death in the home in April 2018. She said she stabbed him in self-defense after they got into an argument that escalated. A grand jury decided to charge her. Firefighters pulled her out of the burning house alive, and she was taken to the hospital to recover what will be charged with murder when she's let out. The Hearn Family Dollar is celebrating their grand reopening Saturday after merging with the Dollar Tree. The Family Dollar provided bounce castles and games outside their store today to celebrate with the community. The reopening showcased the new items offered to the public after merging with the Dollar Tree. The store now offers catering, savings on more food options, and they expanded their cooler section.
Have a lot of dollar price points. We're going to carry a lot more product. They don't have to drive all the way into town, to go look for all the great stuff Dollar Tree carries when we carry it right here.
The Family Dollar says that the integration of both stores is going to give the community the best of both worlds. Well, don't go anywhere. Erica Page has your Easter forecast coming up. Plus, international negotiations in play play a huge part in agriculture. How that's impacting Texas beef, next and From the Ground Up.
You're watching News 3 at 6 on KBTX.
In the past year, we've seen negotiations and renegotiations with South Korea, Canada, and Mexico, and there are hopes for new agreements with the European Union, Japan, and China, making markets more open to U.S. beef. Shel Winkley has more in this week's From the Ground Up.
Japan, Korea, Mexico, China, Hong Kong, Canada. Taiwan is right in there too, a small country. Taiwan is amazing. 6 consecutive record-breaking value years for U.S. beef, and talk about a market where we're really penetrating. We have 75% of the chilled market, and so really we dominate the highest value category in Taiwan.
Aaron Borer is an economist for the U.S. Meat Export Federation.
And so everyone has their, call it normal tariffs that they charge. So in China, since we don't have a free trade agreement, when we ship beef to China, normally we pay a 12% sales tax, call it. And now with the retaliatory tariff, that's an additional 25%, and they're just added together. So 37% sales tax is what I have to pay now as an importer in China. And if I want to buy Australian beef, I pay 6%.
Borer says the reason for that is that the Australians have a free trade agreement with China, and they don't have any metal tariffs on China.
Canada is still paying 12%. Australia is different because they have a free trade agreement. And so their tariff is being reduced to 0. Right now, this year, it's 6%. New Zealand has a free trade agreement as well. They are already at 0. Canada, Brazil, Uruguay, Argentina, the other big suppliers are all at 12.
While the U.S. still has a competitive advantage with the quality and availability of beef cuts to export, the industry's hope is that agreements will be made to level the field for market access. I'm Shel Winkley, looking at Central Texas agriculture from the ground up.
From the Ground Up is sponsored by Producers Cooperative, proudly serving agriculture since 1943.
Well, I can say if you enjoyed today, I think you're going to enjoy your Easter Sunday as well. We just have some subtle differences that we're working in, but rain chances return tomorrow. I'll get you the details coming up.
Get your weather online anytime. A public service sponsored in part by Producers Cooperative. For the latest trending video, subscribe to KBTX News 3 on YouTube.
News 3 weather from the Pinpoint Forecast team is sponsored by the Bank and Trust. Local bank, local bankers. And now, local weather.
If you like the quiet, calm weather, you like this pattern in the jet stream where it jets up to the north and it leaves us open to some of those warmer temperatures. These dips in the jet stream, those indicate areas of low pressure, and we're watching our next one as it slowly makes its way in off the west coast. But for now, we've still got a couple of days to enjoy some pretty nice weather. High pressure sits in just to our south, and it's kept all of the clouds out bay and really just a lot of blue sky out there. And you'll notice out to our west, where we're tapping into some of those really warm temperatures, upper 80s across the Panhandle, even 91 degrees out in El Paso, I should say. Notice the eastern half of the state, though, sitting just a little bit cooler. We're talking mid-upper 70s for many of us, but it has been a gorgeous day from start to finish. If you've gotten a chance to get outside, you've noticed it's just been full of a lot of that sunshine. So make plans, get out, enjoy this weather while you can, especially over the weekend. Notice our northern counties, mid-upper 70s, and then as you head a little bit further out to the south and the west, tapping into some of that 80-degree air. But again, starting off the evening comfortable, and as we progress on through the rest of this evening, I think by the time most of us wrapping up any of those evening plans, it's the 70s or the mid-upper 60s for many of us. So going to be a very nice night. And overnight tonight, not quite as cool as what we saw the past nights. So I think temperatures rest into the low 50s across our northern counties, mid 50s for the rest of us, and a very light breeze out of the south at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. But again, excellent weather. If you have any of those Easter egg hunts that you are planning for tomorrow, should be good to go. One thing you might notice though, we've got a little bit of a breeze that's going to start kicking in, especially by the afternoon. So morning plans as you're getting back from church, you may notice those temperatures inching closer to 75 and seeing a few of those clouds mixing in as well. But by the afternoon, expecting a lot of us to reach the low 80s as you finish up up your Easter Sunday. Gusty winds out of the south are going to be building in this moisture the next couple of days, and that's where we start to see these rain chances increasing, especially as we head into the middle part of this next week. It brings back the cloud cover, and it holds those temperatures just a little bit under where we should be average for this time of year. So as we run through your pinpoint forecast of just noticing where this moisture is, the thing I want to point out, you see a lot of green there. We've got a couple of days where we're going to be piling in a whole lot of moisture in the upper levels of the atmosphere that are at first just going to bring us a few of these clouds. But by the time we talk about Tuesday, it starts to translate into some rain chances, especially as storms start to roll through up towards the north. So rain gear on Tuesday may not be a bad idea. Eyes, though, are on Wednesday. Wednesday, the potential is there that we could see a couple of these stronger storms start to roll in as our area of low pressure digs a little further to the south. So what are we tracking? Well, at this time, I think a couple isolated stronger storms certainly remain possible. At this time, the tornado threat remains low. I think if we see a stronger storm roll through, bringing in some of those gusty winds, maybe some of that smaller hail, the thing I'm really focused on is the fact that we're going to see likely quite a bit of rain where some of these storms do drop some rain across the area. So here's your pinpoint forecast. Notice we've got that system digging fairly low into the state of Texas. What it's going to do is it's going to bring in a couple boundaries. Those are going to be the focus, I think, of where we see any of those rain and storms across the area, and likely late Wednesday into the overnight hours on Thursday. Once we get that cold front to start rolling through, may see a few isolated showers wrapping around on the backside, but I really think as we progress even in towards the weekend, most of us are going to be enjoying some of that nicer weather. So Easter plans look good to go. Keep in mind, we have a little bit of a breeze out there, but overall, you're going to really enjoy this weekend, and I think you're going to enjoy next weekend too. We're just kind of sandwiching in some rain chances in between both weekends, so your work week might be met with a little bit of that rain, but I think the weekend plans where most of us are looking forward to getting outside and enjoying that nice weather, they look good to go.
Great news too for folks being outside tomorrow. Should be a lot of pretty pictures for Easter and folks all dressed up. And what a difference though between what we saw just a week ago with the tornado in Franklin, night and day different.
It is, and the good news is, at least on the weekends where you have some time to get out there, clean up some of that storm damage, the weather should be cooperating pretty nice.
Thank you very much, Erica. Appreciate it. Coming up in sports, we'll take you to the Mitchell Tennis Center to see if the Aggies could advance in the SEC Championship. Plus, find out if the Texas A&M baseball team could get a series win over South Carolina. John has those stories and more next.
Sports is sponsored by Allen Honda, corner of Southwest Parkway and Highway 6. Allen's got your Honda. From the KBTX Sports Center, News 3 Sports starts now.
The 9th-ranked Texas A&M baseball team has been busy this week. Tuesday night, the Aggies were in Houston to face U of H. Wednesday, the team traveled to Columbia, South Carolina. Thursday, the Maroon and White beat the Gamecocks 8-2 in the series opener. Friday's second game of the series postponed due to bad weather, so the Aggies and Gamecocks played a pair of 7-inning games today. Asa Lacey got the start in the first game. He hit the first two batters, and Luke Berryhill makes him pay, hitting a 3-run homer. That is one of just 2 hits Carolina would have in the game. The Aggies answer in the bottom of the second. Logan Foster sends a ball deep to right center field. That gets over the fence. The solo shot makes it a 3-1 game. Same frame, Hunter Watson singles to left. That allows Zach Deloach to score and cut the Carolina lead to 3-2. We have the same score in the 7th inning. Jonathan Dukoff at the plate as the go-ahead run, but he strikes out to end the game. South Carolina evens the series with a 3-2 win. So the Aggies look for a victory in Game 3 to claim their 4th SEC Series win of the season. The Aggie offense gets rolling in the 3rd. Braden Shoemake sends a shot to right center. Bryce Blom and Zach Deloach both score on the double to push the A&M advantage to 3-0. Shoemake passes Chuck Knobloch for 8th place on Texas A&M's career RBI list with 148. Gamecocks respond in the bottom of the inning. That is, George Khalil sends a ball to left field that Cam Blake dives for but doesn't get to. Noah Campbell would score from first base to cut the Aggie lead to 3-1. Blake makes up for his miscue in the fourth, sending a ball deep to right field that bounces off the railing beyond the wall. Blake's first career home run makes it a 4-1 game. Seventh inning, South Carolina has cut the lead to 4-3, but Blom adds some insurance when he goes deep to left field for a 2-run jack. The Aggies make that lead stand up and win the series finale 6-3. Sam Houston State dropped their series finale to Central Arkansas 6-2. Bearcats have now lost 4 games in a row. The Texas A&M softball team needed a win today to avoid being swept by Missouri. Tigers start the scoring in the bottom of the first. Hattie Moore singles to right field. Kylie George can't field the ball cleanly. Jasmine Rowland would race around the bases to score from first, giving Mizzou a 1-0 lead. Later in the inning, Kim Wirt launches a ball to left field. That is gone for Wirt's 16th home run of the season, 3-0 Tigers. Rowland doing some damage with her bat in the 5th. She drops the ball in center field. That allows Reagan Nash to score. Missouri gets the win. They beat Texas A&M by the final of 4-0. The Texas A&M women's tennis team faced Georgia today in the semifinals of the SEC tournament at the Mitchell Tennis Center. Bulldogs took the doubles points, then go up 2-0 on singles 5. Elena Christofi beats Riley McQuaid 6-2, 6-0. Singles 4, now Renee McBride evens things up in the second set, but Vivian Wolf would take that match 6-0, 2-6, 6-4. And Lourdes Carley gave Georgia the win today on singles 3, beating Tatiana Makarova 6-4, 6-4. The Aggies fall 4-0 and will wait for their NCAA tournament assignment on April 29th. The Texas A&M track and field team, Clay, taking part in the Michael Johnson Invitational up in Waco. We'll let you know how they finished coming up tonight at 10.
Thank you very much, John. A lot of sports going on this Easter weekend. Y'all were busy today and all sorts of stuff.
Taking advantage of the nice weather.
They had a lot of nice weather, and Astros also been playing the last couple of days too.
Astros Rangers tonight.
Yeah, my wife and I will be house divided. She's a big Astros fan. I love my Rangers. So
I'll stick on your wife's side.
Okay, that's probably a safe bet. They're probably I'll bet on the Stros tonight.
Good luck.
Thank you very much, John. We'll take a live look outside. We'll be right back after the break.
Not a cloud in the sky tonight, and it's going to be a pretty pleasant evening. Temperatures already sitting into the mid-upper 70s here across Bryan and College Station, and notice that humidity. It is sitting very low, so it's going to be comfortable if you have any of those plans to be out later on this evening. Temperatures overnight only expected to drop down low mid-50s, I think, for many of us, so that's where at least you're going to start your Easter Sunday. By lunchtime, expecting many of us to be heating up close to the mid-70s, but also notice that breeze. It's going to be kicking in, especially throughout the afternoon hours, as highs inch a little bit closer to the lower 80s. So it's going to be a warmer afternoon, but at least you got the breeze to kind of keep that air moving around. Notice we've got some changes though coming as we head towards the middle part of this week. We're building in rain chances, especially Wednesday night into Thursday, and there is an isolated chance that we could see a stronger storm or two that comes out ahead of that cold front. But once we kick that rain on out of here, it looks like we're in for another really nice weekend coming up the following weekend. Just temperatures might be a little bit on the warmer side.
Beautiful weekend. Great time to get pictures with the blue bonnets, Indian paintbrushes tomorrow, get your Easter photos in. It'll be a lot of fun. Well, thank you very much. That's our report for now. Thanks for joining us. Be sure to join us for our News 3 at 10 or anytime on our web channel, KBTX.com.